Hello, and you're watching TV9 News, and I'm your host Deepak. Now, there is a severe shortage for vaccines in the country. States reporting a record surge in the number of daily active cases have shut down vaccination centers amid vaccine shortage. Now, in the midst of such a situation, state governments have floated global tenders to procure vaccines. And the reason why they have floated global tenders is because they feel uncertain about the arrival of the vaccine doses to their jurisdictions. 7 state governments have also halted or slowed down the phase 3 of the vaccination drive. So now you might be wondering which are the states that have floated global tenders to procure vaccine doses. I'll tell you about those states and also their tenders. Delhi, the Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia on Tuesday said that the Delhi government will float a global tender for procuring coronavirus vaccines. Now next is Maharashtra. The state government has floated a global tender for COVID-19 vaccines and remdesivir injections, and it is the only state that has said no to Chinese vaccines. Andhra Pradesh, on the other hand, will float a global tender in a day or two for the procurement of COVID-19 vaccines from international vaccine developers. Now, Telangana, the cabinet on Tuesday decided to invite global tenders for the procurement of vaccines. Odisha, on the other hand, on Monday, the government decided to float a global tender for procuring COVID-19 vaccines. Uttar Pradesh too has floated global e-tenders to procure 4 crore doses of COVID-19 vaccines from licensed manufacturers. And Karnataka government, in the end, has decided to procure 2 crore vaccine doses through global tender in order to meet the increased demand. Along with these 7 states, Mumbai's BMC has independently decided to issue a global tender for the purchase of 50 lakh doses to ramp up Mumbai's immunization drive. The BMC will finalize the rules of the global tenders by this week. But what we have to understand here is that the center has granted emergency authorization for only 3 vaccines. Covishield, which is developed by Serum Institute of India, Bharat Biotech's Covaxin, and the Russian vaccine Sputnik V or Sputnik V, which is also being tested for sterility, toxicity, and efficacy. So what happens now? What's the procedure that has to be followed before inoculating someone with a foreign vaccine? To answer that question, we have with us Dr. Sitesh Roy, a clinical immunologist from Mumbai.
So whenever a new vaccine has to be used for vaccinating the Indian populace with for COVID-19, the procedure involves the data and analysis of phase 2-3 trials, which are typically done amongst Indian people, and then submitting that data to the DCGI for further approval and getting what is called an emergency use authorization. Now, we know that with Sputnik vaccine, the agreement between the Russian Direct Investment Fund and Dr. Reddy's lab happened last year in September. Phase 2-3 trial data was submitted in March. In April, they got approved, and now in May, finally the vaccines have arrived, the first batch and the second batch expected soon. So we can expect that vaccination with these doses will begin soon, and we can only hope that we will have some more options of vaccinations now available to people so that more and more people can be vaccinated in a timely fashion. With any new vaccine, the standard protocol and procedure is to have data submitted to the DCGI for further analysis and approval before it can be used in the Indian population.
So now the end question is, what can we expect? The states floating global tenders for vaccines are uncertain about the arrival of the vaccine jabs. Now, this appears more like a last resort, which is an act to pacify the public sentiments, as it hints at the state's bid to procure COVID-19 vaccines available anywhere in the world. However, the vaccine supply shortage is likely to end not before July. The center has told the Supreme Court that production of vaccines was being augmented across the country. So till then, all we can do is follow all the safety protocols, because vaccines are here, but the supply chain is hit very badly right now. So let's do our bit so that the government can do its bit without worrying about ours. And share this video with your loved ones. if in case they want to know about the global tenders floated by various state governments. And also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to TV9 News on various social media platforms. Many thanks for watching.